Well, everyone does a gear video, so I figured I'd do a gear video. Here's what's in my pack. Hey everyone, Chris here again. I'm going to take you through my gear setup for the Appalachian Trail. This is the stuff I'm carrying on my back, also known as my base weight, in that it does not include water, fuel, and food, and Cat not included. I don't know what she's up to, but apparently she likes leukotape. So let's get into it. Let's start going through my gear. I'm going to go right to left on this pile. It's in no particular order. I'll probably do more detailed reviews of my sleep system and my tent and my cooking system, backpack, potentially. If you've got anything in particular you want to know about, please leave a comment down below. But let's just get into it. First off, my Thermarest Z seat. It's a seat. It prevents your butt from getting wet on a wet log or whatever. It is great for windscreen for your stove. It is great to fan a fire if you're trying to get a wood fire started. So it doesn't weigh anything, and it's got a ton of uses, so I really like it. By the way, all of the weights for all this gear in both ounces and grams are going to be in the description box below, so you can check that out. Second up, we're going to have the Thermarest Neo Air. This is not in its original case because it gets wrapped up with my sleeping quilt, which I'll talk about. This is a great pad, 2 inches. The only knock on these is that they're kind of loud if you roll around. So, if you're in a hut or close sleeping conditions, you want to be careful of that. But great, well worth the weight penalty from my perspective over like Thermarest if you were to go with the full-length pad there. So, love this. It's really comfy, and I need a good night's sleep because I'm old. All right. Speaking of that, Trekology, this is a travel pillow. This guy doesn't weigh anything, blows up. It's a nice cradle for your head. I really like it. And I'll note that I did put Velcro on here. These are pieces of Velcro. One side on here, one side on the Neo Air. So they will stay together. Because I noticed when I was using it, it really slid around a ton while I was going. So I wanted to fix that. So I did. This is my Revelation quilt inside a Z-Pack slim bag. This is a Revelation 10-degree bag. Probably a little warmer than I need, but I wanted to try it out. It wasn't too much extra money, and so it makes it more versatile. And as it's a quilt that you can unzip all the way, you can vent and be cool even when it gets warm out. So I'm not too concerned about that. Up next, we have a journal. I don't know if the final one I'm going to take, this is about 10 ounces, feels a little heavy. There's a lot of paper in there, so I may go with something smaller and then swap it out for another one if I want to. And this is my Kindle Starry Night cover. I quite enjoy reading. I've heard a lot of folks say you don't necessarily read on the trail a lot, but I'm going to bring it. It's 11 ounces, I think, so I'm going to see about that penalty, see if it's worth it. And then this is Mitzi, who won't leave me alone. From there, let's switch over to my pack. This is the Osprey Atmos 65 AG. It's a little big and it's a little heavy, but I haven't sprung for Z-Pack's gear. So if anyone would like to do that, send me a message. I'll be happy to give you my PayPal account and you can shoot me some fundage for the Z-Pack's gear. I know that's great gear and it'll save me weight, but I'm not looking to spend that much. And I've used this pack. I love this pack. It holds the load really well, feels great even under heavy conditions. So I'm pretty psyched to rock that. I really like it. All right, now my extra set of clothes. I have a base layer that's EMS. It can be anything. I wear some Nike Pro Combat, Under Armour, whatever you like. I'm taking a long sleeve for my early hikes. So I'll switch that out to short sleeve. I have Ex Officio Give and Go boxers. I don't like briefs, so I wear the Give and Go boxers. They got a little room, and still Ex Officio makes great stuff. So that's the great things right there. This is just some generic long underwear that'll go under my Prana hiking pants. This is a pack towel. It's a camp towel. It's a little big. It's 16 inches by about 3 feet. I may swap that out for something smaller, cut it in half. Don't know yet. I'm not too concerned. I'm right around 19 pounds base weight, and a couple pounds isn't going to kill me, so I don't know if I'm looking to shave ounces that closely. It's my buff, Treasure Valley Scout Reservation. Shout out to Scouting. It's a really great program. Love it. Been in it all my life, and now den leader for my son. Following up, I got my Big Agnes Copper Spur UL2 tent. It's a great tent. It's a 2-man tent, which you might say, hey, why are you doing that? Seems like extra weight. I like having the extra space. I move around a lot. I like to pull my pack in at night, so if there's bad weather or whatever, I don't have to leave it out, and I can get it clothing in the morning without having to go outside. So I really like that. It's not too heavy, and it isn't a Z-Pax duplex. I get that, but that's the tent I've had, and I've backpacked with that for many miles, and I really like it. So the Big Agnes is coming with us. Outdoor Research Helium 2 rain jacket. Thing is great. Does really well. I haven't yet worn it in warm rain. I'm a bit concerned. There are no pit zips, but everything I've read and seen online tells me that it breathes really well, so I'm not overly concerned. Osprey rain cover. This goes over the pack, of course. It's got nice straps to go around the weight belt. Holds it really well. Keeps the pack dry. Obviously not waterproof because it doesn't cover all of it, but it does a really good job, so I'm not concerned there. Next, my Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer hooded puffy jacket. This is my warmth layer. Goes over my mid layer if I need it. I usually don't have to wear it while I'm hiking because I'm pretty warm when I'm moving around like that. But certainly when you get to camp and you chill out, you need to have something to put on over that's warm, and that's my go-to there. It's really good. It is down synthetic. My mid layer is synthetic. I'll talk about that in a future video. This is all the stuff on my back, not what I'm wearing in general. So. And then finally, my hydration bladder. This is a platypus. Now, this is 3 liters. I'll probably never fill it to 3 liters unless I really need to. I don't expect to need to, but I really like the convenience of a bladder and being able to sip while I hike. I do that all the time, and I don't like reaching around behind me for bottles. Now, what I'll probably end up doing is putting this guy, maybe a liter in this guy, and getting a smart water bottle like everyone else, and putting that in my pack. It has a couple advantages. I can do like mixed drinks, powdered Gatorade or whatever in the bottle easier than I can do it in the bladder. And the bottles are generally easier when you're going to cook to pour out of them, obviously, than trying to open up the bladder and pour out. So I got to figure out a combination of the two that I like. But in any event, this will let me, if there's problems with contaminated water or something that I know about ahead of time, I can carry more water if I need it. Else I don't have to fill it all the way. And the weight penalty between this and a smaller bladder is not that much. So I have the extra capacity without much of a weight penalty. So I'm cool with that. All right, next, my camp shoes. Standard pair of Crocs. These things are great. They're versatile. They're antimicrobial. They don't stink. They loop onto the back of your heel, so when you're doing river crossings or whatever, they're not likely to fall off. So I love those. They're very comfy. I wear them all the time. But this is a brand new pair for the trip, so good times. All right, we got some chapstick. We have some antimicrobial. This is hand sanitizer stuff for hanging on the outside of my pack. Of course, your toilet paper. This is my SanDisk MP3 player. I don't want to drain my phone battery for playing music, and I listen to it a lot, so I'm bringing a separate device for that. Some people don't agree with it, but it works for me, so I'm bringing it. Next up, my sundries bag. This has a lot of ibuprofen, anti-diarrheal, some Band-Aids, toothbrush, toothpaste. It's got my inhaler in it. Floss. It's got Leukotape. This is great for blisters, this stuff. I just wrapped a roll of it around itself. It's got my pocket knife. And this is essentially my first aid kit. Nail clippers are in here. Extra bandana. This goes on the outside of my pack for wiping sweat and whatnot. Here we have a miscellaneous cables bag. This is charging for the camera I'm shooting with, which is a Yi 4K Plus action cam. It's got mini USB, lightning cable, a charger itself, a battery pack, 5,700 milliamp hours. I don't know if I need to go bigger yet. I haven't decided, so I got to check that out. Bluetooth clicker for my phone, a little phone mount here for taking selfies or whatever. So that's just miscellaneous stuff, electronics type gear. Here's my headlamp. This is the Yuko Air, thanks to Darwin for his idea of swapping out the strap and putting on this stretch cord. Cuts about an ounce of weight and is much more comfortable anyways. My iPhone, which I will be bringing with me. Stick pick for using my trekking poles as sort of a selfie stick or to record that way. This is a case, my action camera, and the microphone that I use. It's a Purple Panda lapel mic goes in there. On to cooking and food-related stuff. I got a pot cozy that's homemade. I have a blog post on how I made that. I will link that down below. This is my Snow Peak 700 milliliter cook pot with a tinfoil top. Up next, my Snow Peak stove, lighter, the pouch it came in, as well as another bandana for use around cooking. This is my cooking sleeve. That's, again, homemade. I haven't yet done a blog post on that, but I will. And my Toke's long-handled titanium spork. It's for getting in the corners of those packets. And that is all sitting on top of a Z-Packs bear bag kit. So in here you've got 50 feet of line, and this is a rock bag to toss it over a branch. So that's how I will hang my food at night. Over here, you see my Lecky poles. These are older than my kids. They're probably about 15 years old now. I love these things. Cork handles. They twist lock. They don't, do the snap lock like the newer ones, but I really like them. They've served me well, so I'm pretty psyched to be bringing those along with me. I've got some runner's gloves. These are very light. I haven't had to use much more than these. They're from Kraft. I really like them. AWOL's guide. This is 2016. I got the 2018 one coming. Love that guide. I got the loose leaf version so I can bring just the pages I need and sort of mail ahead, save a few ounces there. And then finally, this is my outdoor research down beanie. That's a new piece of gear for me. I used to use like a fleece hat, but this thing is lighter and warmer. So I can use that when I sleep if it gets really cold, or just to wear over my baseball cap as I'm hiking along. All right, so there you have it. There's all the gear that I'm taking with me on the Appalachian Trail. I hope you enjoyed me going through my gear. If you learned anything, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any comments, if you thought I was crazy for carrying something, or if there's something I'm not carrying that you think I should be carrying, please put a comment down below in the comments field, and let's interact with the community. So thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you soon.